Welcome back, boys and girls, to yet another premiere of the NGDL3. And this is the Miami Dolphiones yet again, and my opponent this week is President Tim of the Charlotte Beedrills. Fulham is going to be the proxy for him since he doesn't have a 3DS, but that's beside the point. But President Tim has actually been my assistant coach the first two NGDLs, so we are very familiar with each other. His draft was actually a lot of things that I did in the past, because you could kind of just see his hand in some of my earlier drafts as well. But I like to think I also kind of rubbed off a little bit on him. Yeah, he has an interesting team with an interesting set of problems. And I actually ended up making a transaction this week. I ended up getting rid of Passimian. The reason I did that is because, well, Passimian, it's kind of, I already had like a strong fighting type in Tapu, sorry, not Tapu, kommo-o, so it was kind of redundant in my team, so I ended up getting rid of it for Cryogonal, which is an interesting Pokemon because it has a very diverse support move pool. It's also very strong, especially special defensively, and it also has access to Freeze Dry, which I'm actually not going to be bringing this week. Even though it might look like it is good against this team, I decided to go for an interesting Chronicle set. I did want to use this Pokemon. It also is a Rapid Spinner, which is something I was thinking I was going to use, but I ended up not. So I don't know. Let's see if I'm going to be able to make use of this set or not. But let me just show you the Charlotte Beedrills. And they are 1-1, and yeah, on paper they're pretty scary. They have the Blacephalon. Thankfully, I do think I match up pretty well against Blacephalon. Especially with Bulletproof. Kommo-o obviously is immune to one of his stabs and resists the other, so that's pretty good. I have Heatran, who's obviously going to be immune to the fire, and all that. He does have Sticky Webs, though. He does have Sticky Webs. He has that Ribombi, and he has a way to Rapid Spin, too. So I think this batch might end up becoming Sticky Web control, because, once again, he does have the speed advantage over me, so I would really like to keep the webs up on him, without him obviously having the webs up on me. The other thing that's kind of like a wild card here is Durant, who I'm actually really afraid of because it can hit my team, most of my team, really hard. It's really fast, and it's one of his few physical Pokemon. He has a very special draft aside from Tapu Koko and this Durant, so it's going to be very interesting to see how what he brings. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this match without further ado. I'm pretty scared going in, actually, I should say. So, and he also has that rain, which I had to account for. I know Freeze Dry kind of looks good on paper, but I decided to end up going with something else for my Cryogonal. Yeah. So right off the bat, really interesting. He's bringing neither of his OUs, so that right off the bat is just like, what? He is bringing that Durant, though, which I knew would be a major problem for me, as well as the Ribombi and the Swellow, guys that are way above my speed tier on my team. So I'm going to go ahead and lead Smeargle, because like I said, I'd really like to get the speed advantage off here early. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and, he goes into Donphan, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and Spore this thing. I obviously am faster than this. And he just played this excellent. He played me like a fiddle. He brought the Chesto Donphan, anticipating Smeargle, and that is just ridiculous prep work right there. This is that you're going to see in draft leagues. My former assistant coach doing work. He knew that no matter what, if he just goes for the Earthquake this turn, if I Spore, if I set up my Sticky Webs right now, he can just Rapid Spin because I didn't bring Decidueye. I really wanted to bring Decidueye as a spin blocker, but now he can just go for the Ice Shard and kill me. And obviously, if I just went for the Sticky Webs, he could have killed me just with Rapid Spin. So that is just excellent prep work there. Oh, that was a little weird graphical glitch. Hopefully that's none of the rest of the video. But no. I pretty much forced to go into Tapu Bulu to negate the Ice Shard. And now I'm just going to go for the Psychic twice to kill it. Unfortunately, I'm not able to kill with Earthquake. I wouldn't have killed it anyway, because obviously this guy does have Sturdy, and that's just not good. And in comes his Swellow now. And yeah, so this thing is going to be faster than me if he's Scarfed. That's what I'm thinking at this point. He just goes for the U-turn, which is a good play. You know, obviously get switch advantage. So right off the bat, though, that Donphan set the tone. And we have our work cut out for us, because he has his Politoed and he has Kingdra, and what I assume to be a Scarf Swellow. We need to actually set up kommo-o. I did bring a Dragon Dance set, but I'm going to need 2 Dragon Dances to outspeed those things, Kingdra in the rain and such. But I go for the Roar here, because I was thinking that he might try to go directly into the Kingdra. Instead he goes into the Swellow. Well, I Roar him into the Swellow. He goes for the Protect. I think he actually said he was predicting Bloom Doom. I did not go for that this week. I was tempted to. But whatever. So he's going to go ahead and U-turn his Swellow into my Poly. as I just go for the SR, which is going to be good and, you know, get some residual damage on his Pokemon. He has 2 Pokemon weak to it, so I wanted to get them up. Anyway, he's going to Scald now in the rain. It does a lot of damage. I just went for the Roar. I kind of figured he'd Scald that turn, but I have nothing really to go into other than Cryogonal, which, like I said, I'm bringing an interesting set. In fact, I'm just going to say it. I'm bringing a dual screen set, similar to the Uxie that I brought in the NGDL2. Anyway, in comes Durant here. I'm just going to go ahead and stay in and use my Fire move. He ends up having the Gigavolt Havoc, which I think can only be... This is the second time I've seen this move in a NGDL match, by the way. I guess he was fearing Vaporeon, but I think that a Buginium Z would do just as much. I don't know. Either way, it's enough to kill Heatran, and that's not good. So in comes Tapu Bulu. Actually, this was a timer mistake. I was really debating, and I was going to actually go into kommo-o, but I ended up going into this thing, which is good because I ended up scaring him away. I do have a slight chance to kill here, I believe, with a timid Psychic, but actually, I think he could have lived. So that's why I didn't want to go into Tapu Bulu. I was like, no, no, no! But he ends up switching anyway. I guess he was figuring that modest Scorp would also kill 100%. But either way, I just go for that Psychic. It goes into Politoed. We already know this thing doesn't actually have the Damp Rock item, because it only lasted 5 turns the first time the rain, so I'm just going to go into Cryogonal. And like I said, if I can waste some turns here, and like I said, I'm going to go ahead and set the Reflect. I was actually anticipating Kingdra coming in again, but Reflect also does help against his Durant, so I go for that. He ends up burning here at the second Scald, so he gets the burn. But I guess it's 2 Scalds, so you're going to get a burn, probably. Not that it really matters. I don't actually have an attacking move, which is kind of the risk. I don't even have Freeze Try, which he was probably expecting. He's probably just expecting to sack off his Politoed there. But I am going to go ahead and recover now as he goes into Ribombee. And here, I should have went for the Light Screen. I should have went for the Light Screen, but I go for the Toxic, thinking that he might dance at me, you know, Quiver Dance. And if I would have went for the Light Screen, I think I could have lived another Moonblast, because it appears this guy is going to be a Scarf Ribombee. He goes for it again, and it takes me out. If I had that Light Screen up, I would have been able to live that, I think, and, you know, recover it up. So that's not great. Obviously, Cryogonal being alive and healthy is going to be, would have been really useful. But now I just have to, you know, try to do with what I got. I have Mega Beedrill here. Unfortunately, he outplays me again, going out into this this Durant as I try to go for the jab. As I was figuring, he might not go to Durant. But, you know, a U-turn would be too obvious. No. He goes to the Durant, then I have to U-turn. And, yeah, I just go into the kommo-o. I still have the Reflect up. I should have U-turned that first turn. Because then I could have gotten, like, the U-turn into my kommo-o and maybe set up a dance or two. Actually, no. I tried to set up the dance here. But then he goes in back to Ribombee, and this is when I realized, oh, crap, this thing's Scarfed! He has 2 Scarfers! What am I going to do about this? And if he does have 2 Scarfers, I am screwed. Anyway, I do have to switch out, because I am predicting this thing to be Scarfed. I go out into my B, predicting the Moonblast, which is X4 effective, against my kommo-o. And there is the Moonblast. I do have the resist. It does a little bit of damage, but it pretty much confirms the thing's Scarfed. And now I am going to go for the U-turn as he goes out into Durant, which is actually enough to kill the Durant at this point, so that's pretty nice. But now I have to show first. And I was like holding out my Smeargle, hoping that I might get a chance to switch it in against Politoed. But now I'm just going to go ahead and switch it, because, you know, if I could get in a Politoed, Politoed is the only thing that's slower than it. So I could potentially maybe get the Spore and then, you know, the Sticky Webs. But now I just have to sack and see what he goes into. And, yeah, he goes into Ribombee. He once again locks himself into Moonblast, which will kill me. I maybe could have saved Smeargle there by going directly into Beedrill, but it would have, well, actually, he doesn't probably have anything to really do to Beedrill, but whatever. In comes the other Moonblast, and it's going to hit, actually, I could have taken 2 of those. But anyway, now I'm going to U-turn, and it's going to kill the Ribombee. But, yeah, I have Tapu Bulu, which is Scarfed, I have my Beedrill, and I have my kommo-o. So I figure if he goes into Politoed, I need to be in kommo-o to Dragon Dance. But he goes back into Swellow, and I'm thinking, okay, if this thing is Scarfed, I lose anyway. He's going to sweep me, no matter what, with either Boom Burst or Brave Bird, it doesn't matter. So I have to sack something. I decided to sack Tapu Bulu here. Figuring that Beedrill would be potentially more useful because he can change his moves and U-turn and stuff. Because he still has that Kingdra and Politoed connection. He goes for the Brave Bird, so it does reveal it's physical. And down goes my Tapu Bulu. And now I have to hope this thing isn't scarfed. I go to my Beedrill, and if this isn't scarfed, I just lose. Because that should be strong enough to kill my kommo-o. And it will be scarfed, and it's strong enough to kill my Beedrill. So, yeah, President Tim coming on top here. This is a divisional foe. Swella going to be able to sweep it up for him. This is unfortunate because he was at 1-1, I was at 2-0. So he's actually going to be able to take the control of the division here with this win due to the tiebreaker of obviously head-to-head. So we're both going to be 2-1, but he's going to be first in the division. And yeah, first losses of the season. You know, they always sting a little more. They always sting a little more in my experience. Then again, you know, also losses later in the season sting, especially when put you in a bad playoff situation. I mean, you know, it was going to come. He played his advantage with speed tier very, very well. I mean, him not bringing his 2 OUs was a shock. I mean, I kind of figured he might not bring Blacephalon because of my excellent matchup against it, but I honestly expected him to bring Tapu Bulu, for some like Tapu on Tapu action. But instead, he knew that he had the speed tier advantage with his lower tiered Pokemon. He knew that he could gain additional speed advantage with his with his water, with his rain. And he played that very, very well. He brought a Dawn fan set that did not let me set up sticky webs, which obviously wouldn't have affected the Swellow, but would have affected the Ribombee, as well as his Kingdra. And he played that very, 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 very well. So well done, President Tim. We see each other again, week 11, one that I hope that I can, avenge myself. I had to think about this Cryogonal set. Like I said, I was trying to mirror what I did in Season 2 with Uxie, but bringing 2 Pokemon without really an attacking move might not have been the best idea. It kind of forced me into a bind there, and then, like I said, this is like the bulkiest draft I've ever drafted in a draft league, aside from Mega Beedrill. Someone pointed out, yes, Mega Beedrill is the exception to the rule. But like I said, I'm going to be facing the speed disadvantage all year long. It's by far the slowest team I've drafted, and by far the bulkiest, so it's just an adjustment I need to make. And in hindsight, I got outplayed this match. I mean, it's hats off to President Tim. He's the worthy division leader at this point, and we're gonna have to rebound next week against another divisional foe, 91 Crash, who I believe at the time of this video is 0-2. He's actually the guy I thought I had the best overall team in the division, so I'm actually surprised to see him 0-2. He hasn't played his week 3 match. I think he's playing it tomorrow. But anyway, today's question of the day has to do with the American holiday. Most of the time, I think the last couple of Thanksgivings in my battle video I posted, I say something like, what are you most thankful for? I think that's the exact one I use. But I'm going to use a little different this time. And today's question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite food traditionally served at Thanksgiving? Obviously, not only Americans celebrate this particular holiday. But I'm pretty sure all of my international viewers and friends, they've eaten things like turkey and mashed potatoes and ham and stuffing. If you really don't know what it's served at Thanksgiving, Google it, or just don't post, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, as for me, oh man, it's a close one between dark meat turkey. Dark meat's the best. I don't care. White meat is for white meat is for idiots. No, but dark meat turkey and I love mashed potatoes, man, with a little bit of butter on there, some salt, pepper. It is delightful. But yeah, I'm really looking for it. My mouth is watering, man. Tomorrow, man, we're gonna go to my in-laws. We're gonna eat food. We're gonna watch football. It's gonna be a great day. That's why I'm kind of rushing to post this video tonight. But yeah, leave a comment about that. And see you guys again next time. Later, my buds. Later. Oh, cheesy minions and all that. Bye.